Space movements October 7th, 2016, bring warnings and watches, including the Haarp steered storm Matthew. So when we're looking at this and we scroll all the way down and we're starting off with space weather, there isn't really any coronal holes on Earth's side of the sun right now, so we ain't got nothing to worry about any solar wind. The solar winds ended on October the 6th, 2016. So 24 to 48 hours. Still storms charging up. So till the 9th, till Sunday, October the 9th, 2016, storms will still be charging up from the solar ones that hit the Earth for a whole week straight, a little bit more than a week. But still, that's a phenomenon in itself. Also, when we look at the sunspots on the sun for any solar flares, AR2598 could cause a C-class solar flare. AR2599 could cause anytime X-class solar flare. AR2600, we ain't got nothing to worry about, no C-class yet. But later on this week, AR2600 is going to intensify and will be able to produce C to X class. AR2598, the only potential C class is it's going to start moving on the other side of the sun. Let's go to Intercast Atlantic and let's take a look at Matthew. When we look at Matthew right now, it's a Category 2 hurricane. It ain't going to pick up, ain't going to become a Category 3 unless it's really over warmer water. As it starts heading up towards Georgia and South Carolina, right now it's off the coast of Jacksonville, Florida, on the coast of Georgia, and a couple hundred miles. You guys can see the surge and a lot of raining right now as we speak, but as it gets closer, the wind speeds are going to, of course, increase. This still is a Category 2 hurricane as you move closer to the eye of the storm. So right now, around Jacksonville, you guys are probably experiencing wind gusts between anywhere from 40 miles to 75 miles per hour as the eye is really close. You can see the system that just moved right across the Midwest. It was a severe system, but all of a sudden died. That's from NextRad, destroying that system and letting the system being steered by Haarp. So let's look at this. Alright, so this future path of Matthew looks like it's going to keep moving north, but it's going to shift gear and start moving to the east, and most likely around Sunday night, Monday, as it's near as a tropical storm, probably around Category 1 or a tropical storm around Wilmington, North Carolina. It's going to push back into the Atlantic Ocean, and we seen a few days ago Haarp rings around Miami, between Miami and Cuba, and we're going to take another look at that in a second. We're going to find out the steer of this Haarp ring produced storm. As we move to the whole country with Intocast, you see the Haarp rings. So let's zoom in. So back to southern Florida as we look at Hurricane Matthew. This is a powerful storm, and right now it's right. The eye is about 50 miles out the coast of Jacksonville, about 100 miles out the coast of Georgia, and it's a couple hundred miles away from South Carolina and North Carolina. As we look, we can see Haarp rings still between Miami and Cuba, so warnings and watches for still severe weather for the next 24 to 72 hours. As we move up the coast, you can see Haarp rings out here in the ocean off of New Jersey. So warnings and watches for severe storm for the next 24 to 72 hours. As we look down here, Texas and Mexico, warnings and watches for severe storm next 24 to 72 hours. Now this is crazy up here in Canada. Alright, you can see Haarp rings right there in northern Canada by Wisconsin. Warnings and watches for severe storm next 24 to 72 hours. All of Canada, basically. You can see Haarp ring right there in the Dakotas, in both Canada and in the United States of America. So warnings and watches for North Dakota for next 24 to 72 hours. Now this is something amazing. There's a major Haarp ring off the coast of Oregon and Washington. Alright, so warnings and watches for major storm. This is not a storm Haarp ring. So I put warnings and watches for a major earthquake for Northern California, Oregon, and Washington for the next 24 to 72 hours. We're going to come back when I get into the earthquake warning. There's also Haarp rings up here in Vancouver. Warnings and watches for the next 24 to 72 hours. All these storms up here by Washington, Oregon, Wyoming. Be prepared, folks. This is major. Look at this Haarp ring. You can see the red lines and that. When we go back to Entacast, no one's really talking about Hurricane Nicole, since Hurricane Nicole is behind Matthew, but it is a Category 1. Everyone said it was a tropical depression. So I'm going to say tropical depression. Right now it's a Category 1 hurricane, so keep an eye out on Hurricane Nicole. When we go to Mimic, alright, now this is where I'm talking about Haarp rings and all that. This Hurricane Matthew is controlled by Haarp. Also, you can see the electronic shocks from the microwaves hitting Hurricane Matthew when it was over Cuba, going up the coast by Daytona Beach, Vanoia Beach, and Jacksonville. It just got hit. Watch, it got hit there, got hit there, got hit there. Alright, Haarp is controlling the storm and it's still Category 2, and it's going to live a long time. Now, as we watch Nicole been hit with Haarp too, at the very end by microwaves, right there. And you can see the end part of that system pushing Nicole back southern. So I want everyone to keep an eye out Nicole. I want everyone to keep an eye out Matthew. If you live in Georgia and South Carolina, North Carolina, take cover. Move from the shores because this is a severe storm. And hopefully the storm just goes up to the East Coast and goes back out to the Atlantic Ocean. And not doing what our predictable models are showing it. Going to make a roundabout around North Carolina and go back into the Atlantic. If that does happen, this will become a tropical storm and back to a Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane, and may even end up in the Gulf or come back up the coast. So people, be prepared for a second Hurricane Matthew. Alright, but right now it's people in Florida. We done Daytona, got the closest, got actually in the eye wall of Hurricane Matthew. Jacksonville is on the borderline of the eye with the Category 2 Hurricane Matthew. It's making its way up to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. I'm putting warnings and watches for the rest till Monday for major floods in Florida. Major floods in the southeast of Georgia. Major floods throughout all of South Carolina. Major floods from Winston-Salem, Raleigh, Wilmington, North Carolina. And on Sunday, on August the 9th, I'm going to come back and make another video to update on Matthew. So everyone be prepared. Of course, there's a lot of people out there without power right now, maybe around a million last time I heard. The storm is just getting closer to Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, folks. Alright, and this storm is deadly, as we've seen. Hold on one second, folks. Let's go to the article. In Haiti, 283 people have died because of Hurricane Matthew. So this is still a deadly storm. When we go to North Atlantic, the last time they took a picture around Daytona, you can see how big the storm is. Alright, when we go to Earth Globe, now this is how we predict where the storm is going to go. It's with the winds of the earth. And you can see the eyes right off the coast of Jacksonville on the border of Georgia right now. Alright, you can see how it's sucking up all this energy from the north. The water's up north, it's cold, so I got that cold air too, but it's also sucking up all that warm water from the Gulf, so it keeps its Category 2 hurricane. But there's nothing, there's a high pressure between, let's show you guys, Michigan, right here down the middle. You can see it all the way down the middle, all the Midwest and the South right here, all the way down. There's a high pressure that's keep moving forward, so it's going to keep moving Hurricane Matthew now to the east. But if you live in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, be prepared. You should evacuate if you live on the coastal line because of the flood and the surges from this hurricane. But a lot of people don't realize that Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, you people know about hurricane. I don't stay down there. I don't survive Hurricane Katrina. Ain't nothing to brag about, but you know where you are. You know how bad hurricanes are around you when they make landfall. There is, I don't like it, but there is martial law when they demand you to leave. Or you should leave. You should find a safe place to live. But definitely, if you live on the coast, you should leave. You should take shelter. You should get the hell out of Dodge. Definitely, if you live in Georgia right now, South Carolina, North Carolina, be prepared. Also, another amazing factor about this storm is Nicole. Nicole was only supposed to be a tropical depression. I predicted it's going to become a Category 1 hurricane. And we ain't done seeing Nicole yet as it's pushing back into warmer water. This thing might make it to a Category 2 hurricane. Alright, folks, so everyone out there, be prepared. This is the latest of Hurricane Matthew and Hurricane Nicole. Is all the way down here. Getting pushed all the way back into perfect favorable water for hurricanes. Alright, this water over here is 80, all the way up to North Carolina and Virginia. Hurricanes could still could maintain if it's completely offshore. Hurricane Matthew ain't completely offshore. The only reason it's taking so slow is because the eye is offshore in the ocean. But Daytona didn't see the eye came on land. Jacksonville for a minute seen the eye come on land. Of course, we're going to see Georgia and South Carolina for a minute or so. Maybe it's going to make landfall around Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. But it's going to go back out into the ocean around Sunday and Monday. So tonight, Friday night to Saturday morning, Georgia, South Carolina, Southern South Carolina. Saturday night to Sunday, South Carolina, North Carolina. I'm going to bring you updates. Hopefully this thing goes back out into the ocean and steer away from people. It doesn't do a double whammy as they're predicting, or go up the East Coast. But if you do live in Virginia, warnings and watches for major floods. If you do live in Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, be prepared. And New York. This is the No Face Moon. Please hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Facebook. This is the No Face Movement. Movement till next time. Facing off. And one more time, I gotta show you guys. This thing is controlled by Haarp. This is a Haarp created storm. This is a Haarp storm. So watch the eye getting nailed again. Just recently, right next to Jacksonville with Haarp. Alright, this is the movement. Moving till next time. Facing off.